Hey everyone, it's Dr. Hillary and Dr. Irby from Rangeline Chiropractic. We wanted to hop on this live webinar with you and talk about some sleep tips and tricks. We both have been having a lot of patients ask us about like sleeping and what they could do to get better sleep. Dr. Irby, how often do you think that people talk to you about sleep during a daily or a weekly basis?
I think it comes up pretty regularly, just to make sure everyone who's coming in is really kind of lifestyle oriented. They want to do everything they can to get the most out of their care.
Mhm.
So, sleep is a topic that comes up frequently, but also because it's one of the first benefits people feel from chiropractic care as well.
Yes, and we're definitely going to jump into that. We'll talk about chiropractic guys, but also we'll talk about different like supplements and like the different stages of sleep that you should be looking for. So let's just dive right in. If you are watching live with us, you can put questions on the StreamYard. So we are going live on our Facebook page and in our private group, Wellness with Dr. Hillary. So thank you for everyone that's watching live. So at Rangeline Chiropractic, obviously Dr. Irby and I are there. And then we also have Dr. Taylor and Dr. Lee Allison. So there's 4 women, and we also have 4 support staff of all women. So we have a great office. And if you guys haven't been in, see us. The building is actually an old Chipotle building, and so it's much different than you would think for a chiropractic office. We're located in Carmel, Indiana, kind of between 116th and Carmel Drive. So let's talk about sleep. Like, why do we need to get good sleep? As most of us are getting older, and I would say for Dr. Irby and I, a lot of our patients are like 30s, 40s, 50s. So sleep is more important that we, are getting better quality sleep. But some things that we see when people aren't getting good sleep would be more the fatigue, the trouble focusing. So if you are a parent and you're working all the time and you've got a million kids things to do, the focusing at work and home life, irritability in general. I think we all know how it feels when we don't get enough sleep. Although I feel like when I was a new mother, I don't know how I survived on that little sleep. I definitely couldn't do that now in my 40s.
Yeah,
And
I
when our younger patients come in that are pregnant and have little ones, I think to myself, I'm so happy for you, but also I do not miss the like non-sleeping time as much as I love those cute little babies. I don't know if I could do that at this point in my life. And then sleep helps, we see a lot of changes in mood in general when we don't get enough sleep. So sleep is, very dramatic for us. So let's talk a little bit about chiropractic and sleep. So you might think, really, a chiropractor can help with sleep? Like, how is that? I thought chiropractic was just like neck and back. But if you think about chiropractors, what we do is we work on the nervous system. Not only do we help with like pain and inflammation, but those are things that could trigger you not to get a good night's sleep. Like just generally having pain and inflammation in your body, right? Like just think about if your back is bothering you, your neck is bothering you, you're gonna like toss and turn all night, because of this. So not only can we help you get out of the pain and reduce the inflammation in your body, that is then going to lead to you sleeping better. And then even like range of motion we have on here, the muscles and the joints make it difficult for you to get in a good posture. I don't know how many times I have patients tell me that they just can't get comfortable in bed, or they can only sleep in a certain position because that's the way their back doesn't hurt. And when they say they sleep on their stomach, I kind of cringe a little bit. What about you, Dr. Irby?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely, if there's stomach sleepers, they're probably one of our toughest customers. So I try to hold their hand and ease them into different sleep positions. And lack of sleep. And I really like the point that you brought up about how when someone is in pain, their sleep is affected. And that's another top issue that people come to see us about when they finally pull the trigger to see us at times, is that their sleep is being impacted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, stress and anxiety, that's number 3 on our top list, because I think we hear about this all the time. And in our society, it's really common to be under stress and have anxiety. It's, if I haven't met one person every single hour in my office that's not under stress and have anxiety issues, then I'm in the wrong office, I think. So chiropractic can help with reducing the stress and anxiety, and actually the adjustments and getting adjusted releases endorphins. So that's that calming, mood boosting chemical that's released from the brain. So everyone loves that. That's why when people walk out of our office, they're like, I just feel so much better. I knew you would make me feel better. And they're like, I feel like I'm walking on a cloud, improving like the alignment of the spine and the pelvis. That also, helping with like the nerves being pinched, the muscles that are tight. So if a nerve is pinched, then the muscles around it are probably just going to be tightened up in response to the nerve pinch. So a lot of times when patients say like, oh, I'm just tight, I have to remind them, but why? So what's the root cause? So us, with chiropractic care, we look for the root cause, which is generally a nerve being pinched, causing that muscle to be tight, causing you not to sleep well, causing you to toss and turn and sleep in a poor position. So all of that leading to things that chiropractors like Dr. Irby and I can help with. And then immune function. I think that the immune boosting capabilities of chiropractic care is like, it's like a little secret, when patients are like, what else can I do to boost my immune system? So we're looking at different times of the year where we need more immune boosting capabilities, or when certain viruses go around. I'm like, you need to get your neck adjusted. We need to get you in proper alignment. We need to boost your immune system so your body is like functioning at like 100%. So I almost think about it like a cell phone call, your nervous system, like a drop cell phone call. So maybe you got static in your line of communication in your cell phone, but if we can adjust it, get the nerve pinch to relax, and then get like a smooth communication. So I use the cell phone analogy. Dr. Irby, what's another good analogy of like the impingement or the kind of the subluxation that we call it?
You just think of your nervous system as an information highway, and your brain is sending signals just like your spinal cord and the nerves that are coming out of your back are like a highway. And your brain is sending signals down that information, getting to its right destination, whether it's to your back, to your neck, to the cells that signal proper sleep cycles, to your digestive system, whatever, etc. organs. Okay, so if that highway is affected, or there's some interference, or there's like construction on the highway, that's gonna affect that transmission.
I like that analogy of the construction on the highway for sure. I mean, the nervous system really controls everything in the body. So if it's not happy, there's going to be something else not happy.
Yeah.
Some patients ask us, well, if I come in just for like helping with my sleep, like how often should I come? Do I have to come as regularly as I did when I had headaches? Probably not, but it does depend on the person. We see a lot of what we call like maintenance patients right now, that are patients coming in like once or twice a month, and they're just checking their alignment. They may not be in pain, but they know they want to function at like 100% optimization. They want their body to work 100%, their nervous system, their immune system. They want to get the best sleep possible. So it does depend on the person, but I would say a lot of my patients that I currently see, I'm seeing them about like once to twice a month, just for maintaining and keeping well. How about you, Dr. Irby?
Yeah, I think that's about right. It just depends on the level of interference that's going on. If things are if there's a lot of construction on the highway, it's going to take longer time to get to your destination. If the passageway is more clear and your patients are coming in for maintenance or wellness, they've kind of worked their way up to that level, then they may need less frequency.
Yeah, and this goes for kids as well. In fact, I was just talking to a mother about her little one not sleeping well, and I said, bring him in. Let's just make sure that his nervous system's functioning 100%. Worst case scenario, you brought him in and I don't find anything, you wasted a trip, but best case scenario, I check the nervous system, make sure everything's functioning properly, because if one adjustment can help this little guy sleep better, I think it's worth the trip in, you know?
Oh, yes.
Mhm. Let's talk about even some other things. So I know we kind of like breeze through chiropractic and sleep, but to be honest, there's just so much. Like we could chat here, Dr. Irby and I, all night because we're so passionate about chiropractic, and we could tell you like literally everything that we've learned in the last 20 some years, but we won't. Let's just keep moving on. Let's talk about some other good like tips and tricks. So let's talk about some supplements
Okay.
and diet and things like that. So I'm going to let Dr. Irby take it from here.
Okay, so in regards to supplements, a couple key supplements that have been a game changer for our patients over the years is one, there's a stress-based supplement that has a variety of herbs in it that are called adaptogens. So before I talk about the supplement, just a little bit about sleep and stress. They are tied together. And it's good to kind of know some basic biology or physiology about these little organs that are called your adrenal glands. And they're like these little adrenal glands are like these little berets that on top of your kidneys. And they are responsible for spitting out stress hormones. So if you're really, really stressed, those adrenal glands are going to spit out a stress hormone. I don't know if any of you can guess the name of this hormone. It's known, fairly popular, uh, kind of known as the belly fat hormone. And I'll just share it with you. It's called cortisol. So the adrenal glands spit out a lot of cortisol if you're under a lot of stress. So if your cortisol is really high, it messes up your sleep cycles. So addressing stress directly impacts sleep. Because imagine if in the prehistoric days, this is kind of funny, Dr. Hillary, like just imagine in the prehistoric days and like a saber-toothed tiger jumps in front of you and you're under a lot of stress, right? What is your body's first instinct? Is it to go to sleep?
I hope not.
No, right? So when you're under stress, your body kicks in other activities like your blood pressure, and blood goes to your big organs or to your big muscles and away from your digestive organs to get away from that danger. So, stress and sleep are correlated. And then going back to supplements, the adaptogenic herbs specifically work to help with cortisol in your body, and they detect whether you have your cortisol level is too high or too low, and it balances it for you. And the results we've been seeing with this, people feel a huge difference with their stress. It helps with their sleep. If they're jittery, if they're feeling anxiety, women that are hormonal shifts through perimenopause, menopause, it's an excellent support system. And this stress and sleep bundle right here is one that we carry in our office. So the stress portion is what I mentioned with the adaptogenic herbs, and it's formulated with other nutrients to help support a specific part of your sleep cycle called alpha wave. And then the second supplement, fairly popular nutrient that people have heard about, is magnesium. And
Mhm.
magnesium is not only good for sleep, but it basically helps reduce muscle tension and helps you relax and get a good night's sleep. And once again, for this specific formulation, there are other nutrients to help support the proper brain chemicals for your body and your brain to rejuvenate at night, sleep properly, have restorative sleep, and feel refreshed and healthy when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, we are big fans of kind of treating the body as a whole and not just trying to make it sleep at night, but kind of fixing like the whole root problem of, you know, if the stress is one of the indicators, like what are we going to do to help that, to then help the sleep? And I would say we don't actually sell a lot of supplements at our office, but we love this one, don't we?
Yeah, this one is really very popular. And it just, people get results so quickly and they just do so well. We all love it in our office, and then our patients who use it love it as well. And
Mhm.
one thing it reminded me of, Dr. Hillary, is when you talked about kind of the root cause issue, and I'm talking about like these supplements, these adaptogenic herbs. a kind of a popular trending herb is called ashwagandha.
Mhm.
Um, some people have heard of it, some people haven't. But that is an adaptogenic herb, and this formula has a formulation of like 8 different adaptogenic herbs. And then the second point I wanted to bring up, based on what you mentioned in regards to the root cause, is that for sleep, another popular supplement I know a lot of people use is, can you guess what it is?
Melatonin.
Yeah, melatonin. So what happens if you have formula has a little bit of melatonin in one of them, but it's formulated in a specific way to have balance. Okay, so if
Mhm.
you out melatonin and cortisol work together, but they work together opposite. So at night, for example, your cortisol level should be low and your melatonin should be high for you to sleep well. And then you sleep all night. When you wake up in the morning, your cortisol level should rise so you have energy, and your melatonin should be low so you're not sleepy in the morning. So people take melatonin only at night and at a strong dosage. Not everybody, but oftentimes it throws off this cortisol melatonin balance.
Mhm. Yep, it is that balance, and you shouldn't just be messing with your melatonin balance just on your own, especially if you're not talking to a professional about it too.
So that's, I just wanted to make that point.
Mhm.
So thanks for that.
Great, great point. Yes. So speaking of magnesium, Dr. Irby made this beautiful slide for us about foods.
Yeah. So rather than just we focused a little bit on supplements, and supplements are important to bridge the gap or to help for short term if we're having some issues, to get rebalanced again. But getting our nutrients through our food is really important. And with magnesium being so important for general health, for hormone balance, and even for sleep and keeping our muscles nice and calm, even helps with blood pressure. I thought it would be really important to have a list of foods that are rich in magnesium, and definitely leafy green vegetables, spinach, but specifically not just nuts like almonds and cashews and pistachios, but seeds. I think seeds are highly ignored. So
Mhm.
things like pumpkin seeds, you can have pumpkin seeds, throw them on a salad, grind them up, blend them into a smoothie. There's so many ways, easy ways to sneak it in, and you can get a high concentration of magnesium through seeds.
Mhm. I even found a protein powder that had the pumpkin seeds and the chia seeds like ground up in like a vegan formula, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. And that's always
Mhm.
convenient when you can find it just all in one place. And
Mhm.
if you're just trying to get it through food itself, these are easy ways to sneak it in or perhaps boost what you're already having.
Mhm. And I love the salmon on there. Yes. What about this golden milk? Tell me about this. I was excited to because her and I didn't talk about all of these slides, so I was excited to hear what you're going to talk about the golden milk because it's been a long time since I had the turmeric golden milk.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I thought this would be just kind of a fun, just something, a fun recipe to share. And maybe
Mhm.
later we can provide a link for everybody so they have a recipe, but it's very easy to make. Golden milk is made with an ancient Indian spice known as turmeric, and it's a bright yellow spice. And the turmeric golden milk is a, it's one of my favorite things to drink in the wintertime at night. And it's kind of like a hot cocoa at night. It's just warm and cozy. And it basically it's similar to, not the same, but the similar effect of uh, after Thanksgiving when we've had a big meal and we get like a tryptophan rush and you get
Mhm.
sleep. The golden milk helps enhance a little bit of tryptophan to help you get cozy at night and get a good night's sleep. And the recipe basically is to use, you could use regular cow's milk. A lot of times we'll recommend non-dairy milk, like an almond milk or coconut milk is really nice because it's a little bit richer and creamier. So you'll use a non-dairy milk. You'll use about anywhere from a teaspoon to teaspoons of turmeric powder, and a little bit of honey or maple syrup to sweeten if you like. And you just mix all of that together in a saucepan, let it simmer for a few minutes, and pour it into a mug and enjoy it.
And the great thing about turmeric is that it's an anti-inflammatory, which
it's very strong inflammatory. Yes, it is.
Like, I feel like we all could use that, honestly, you know?
Yeah. Benefits from the turmeric, the inflammatory aspects of it, and even things like antiviral. It's very good for your gut health. So there's lots of health benefits to that. And then the recipe also calls for a pinch of black pepper. And black pepper actually enhances the absorption rate of turmeric. So it actually gets to do its job and work really well.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. I was excited to hear what you're going to say about it.
Oh, thank you. I thought that would be a yummy tip to add for our talk tonight.
I know. Well, another thing that I'm sure you guys have all heard is that exercise can help with sleep, right? So not only, you know, can decrease insomnia and just getting to sleep faster, the effect of exercising can have the same effect as if you were to take like a sleeping pill, so to speak. So in order to stay away from the bad chemicals, just add in more exercise, right? And then Dr. Irving is going to talk about the slow wave sleep because that's like a new buzz topic lately, where that's the best time for us to rejuvenate.
Yeah. So when the research shows, I mean, exercise is one of those things, and there's been so many articles written about it, that all the benefits from exercise, if you listed these things and they were a medication, it would be like a miracle drug. So exercise and movement is just so important because in our society right now, we're not, the way our society's set up, we're not moving as much as we used to, you know, prehistorically. So, you know, we're sitting at desks, we're sitting in cubicles. So movement in general is really important. But the research is showing is about approximately 30 minutes of movement, light aerobic exercise, a walk, a stroll, cycling, just some sort of movement, dancing, something that you enjoy. Those people, like the set of people who move that amount 30 minutes a day and those that don't, there's a stark difference in how deep their sleep is at night. So it definitely makes a difference and is effective. The other thing to watch out just on an individual basis is just the timing for exercise. Some people can be sensitive if they're sleeping too close to their bedtime. They're wired and can't get to sleep right away. So you just have to judge for yourself and kind of know how your body is. If the time of day doesn't matter, then you can exercise or get some movement in whenever is convenient for you. But if you know that you're a little sensitive to that, typically maybe exercising 90 minutes, 2 hours before bedtime is better.
Yeah, because you get the endorphins raising, you get all the blood flow going, and yes, the muscles, your body's like ready and to go and do something, and you're all warm, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they say that I'm glad you brought up the fact that you're warm. They say that it has the same effect for some people, like when you take a hot shower in the morning, your body temperature goes up, you're energized, and then a couple hours later, your energy kind of dips a little bit. So research has compared it to that.
Yeah. So the slow wave sleep, I was looking into a couple of research articles about it. So I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes, but they said like 10 to 20% of our sleep should be slow wave. And that's where we are rejuvenating. The cells are like healing in our blood pressure. It's lowering our blood pressure. It's increasing our immune system. And so the slow wave is one of the more ideal waves to get into, and not really that REM stage. Well, we hear about REM a lot, right? Everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's you're dreaming and everything like that. But the deep sleep and the slow wave, that's where we kind of like rejuvenate our cells and we heal and we increase our immunity.
Yes, that's true. And that's why sleep is so important. So even just like the chiropractic care, just like certain foods that we're eating, we tend to say that it's say like boosting our immunity or boosting our sleep. It's more supporting it.
Mhm.
And when our stress is supported, our body is supported, whether it's through food, supplements, through exercise, we're supporting the body and allowing the brain to do what it needs to do. And during that slow wave, you can do exactly that rejuvenating and healing that you just described.
Mm-hmm. I
Hmm.
also, one of the articles talked about how fiber helps us get into our slow wave, which you listed a lot of things that had fiber on the magnesium slide, with like the seeds and things like that, like great fiber to help us, which can then also help us get into this slow wave and get our 10 to 20%.
Hmm.
Um, I've had a patient ask me recently, how do I track and know when I'm in like deep sleep versus REM versus, light sleep?
Yeah.
And I use this little like Aura ring, and I have like
Oh,
an app on my phone. And so I've used this for a couple years. I now just use it at nighttime to track everything, but I look at it like one of the first things I do in the morning is I get up and I look at and I see what percentages I'm in each category, because I can correlate, well, did I exercise too early, too late? Was it the food I ate late last night? Like, what is it that's like keeping me out of like the more ideal numbers of hours of like each state of sleeping?
yeah, that's such a great tool. And I know a lot of chiropractors and functional medicine doctors recommend that Aura ring.
Mm-hmm. And I think some of my patients have it on their Apple Watch too.
Mhm.
I assume it's similar. I don't know exactly because I don't wear an Apple Watch, but I do like to keep track of it, and I have for a couple of years now. So that's like one thing is, if you don't know how much you're getting, I realize these are not 100% accurate, and I'm sure there's a better assessment tool, but like it's so much easier just to like put it on at night and then be done with it, to be
I
honest.
that's so easy to use, and I think that's a fun tool, especially at the beginning of the year when people have new health goals and they're working on different nutritional habits, exercise, better sleep, those kind of things. And I think that's a handy tool.
I know, I know. Well, anyone listening, feel free to post any questions that you have. And I have a couple that people pre-asked me that would not be able to be on tonight. And I said I would just do it live for them. So someone wanted to know if they were in their late 30s to early 40s, how many hours of sleep they should have. And from the research that I've seen, it says like around 7 hours. Would you agree, Dr. Irving?
Yeah, that's about right. 7 to 8 hours.
Yep. If you can break down those hours, about 25% of that would be in the deep sleep. So we're looking at, like 1.5, 2 hours of like deep sleep where you're going to get the cell regeneration, you're boosting your immune system, you're lowering like the blood pressure. And then that's like more of that slow wave that we were talking about where you need to like get into that deeper type of sleep versus like the light sleep and then the REM sleep, which is more like the dreaming state like that. So I thought those were some good numbers to shoot for because I know that a lot of busy people are not getting their 7 hours in. So, and then, yeah, someone else asked me about what the slow wave meant. So I, made sure I tried to cover all of that. Dr. Irby, can you think of anything we haven't covered so far?
I think we covered the basics for the time frame that we were going to be on. I think you did a great job covering the importance of chiropractic care. I hope we covered stress enough. I think just making that connection, the stress sleep connection, I think is really important.
Yep.
And sometimes we just get carried away with it. go, go, go and get a lot of things done throughout the day, throughout the week, and maybe put that's stressful, and then maybe even put sleep on the back burner. And I think maybe priority, we might get the reverse results. If we make sleep a priority, it might help our stress and then help all of these other parts of our well-being.
I know how many people stay too late doing things, chores or work related things, or get up too early because they want to work out or go to work early, but really missing the whole sleep aspect of it, you know, and the correct number and the correct kind of sleep. If you slept like just the light sleep for 7 hours, it's not going to be as impactful as getting like your full like 25% deep sleep. And we do have one question that popped up. Thank you. It just says Facebook user. How often should I change up my pillow? What a great question. Dr. Irving, do you want to go with it?
Yes. So depending on what type of pillow you have, oftentimes you should change it out just about every year. We recommend in the office everybody use a cervical pillow, a special orthopedic pillow designed to support your neck appropriately. And this pillow has a crevice or a little dent in the middle so that if you are a back sleeper, it supports your neck appropriately. But if you're a side sleeper, it also helps keep your neck and spine in balance. And those pillows as well, we would recommend changing out yearly, but their quality is very high. You could probably get a little more mileage out of those pillows.
Yeah, I agree. The one that we saw at the office is made better quality, costs a little bit more than the ones you can get at like Target and things like that. But I do think the key is like the type of pillow. So the one that's the combo where it's a back and side sleeper, because we recommend the back and the side sleeping, and we do not recommend the stomach sleeping.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Dr. Irving, for joining me. This was a fun little quick, 30-minute was kind of our goal to see if this might be something we would like to do, a webinar. We know it's hard to educate everyone in the office about this all the time, but we have so many great questions asked amongst the 4 of us doctors that we thought this was a great subject to do, and we hope to do more of these soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Great job as well. So hope everyone found this informative, and if you guys need anything, you know how to get a hold of us. We're here to help and support you on your health journey.
Yep. So go get your sleep tonight. Get in your deep sleep and get your couple hours in, you guys.